Hi, everybody. It's time for our Virgo season spread for August 23rd through September 22nd. This is for the Virgo astrological sign. I'm going to take myself out. And there you see the constellation with the cards in place. So it was actually an interesting read. For some reason, Spirit had me going to the horror tarot deck. I don't know why, but that's the deck it wanted me to use. So I finally gave in and I used it. And oh my, did it give me one hell of a reading. I think I'm going to start using that deck a little bit more often. So with the cards, we have there were five questions that went with this. Now, Virgo is considered the Virgin. This is a methodical earth sign and is practical, logical, and always on the lookout for the best way to improve themselves. I can attest to that. My brother is a Virgo. I'm a Gemini. Need I say more? We have to work at it. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so we're going to go through each one of the questions here for the reading for Virgo and see about getting this reading out. All right, question number 1 brought us the King of Swords. That was how to bring yourself back down to earth. That's what the first question is asking. And so, as with the King of Swords, it's imperative to look out on the surrounding world, honing your sharp mind. It's important to weigh all outcomes and options, which will lead to good results. Virgos are very good at this. They're very good at looking at the overall picture in an analytical way and then pinpointing all of the salient parts. Just boom, 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 and they're done with it. I'm amazed when I see my brother do it. It's like, wow, dude, how did you do that? It's just in his nature. That's just the way he is. Now, next up, we have question number 2, which says, what needs organizing? For that, we drew the Hanged Man. So when I first drew this, I thought, the Hanged Man, why would I get that? But it's important to organize our decisions and feelings of complacency. We don't want to lead to an avoidable demise. It's important that we break free from not making any decisions. We must avoid living a stagnant life because of fear to make final decisions. Having our information and thoughts organized helps us to be more productive in our lives. Yes, I can agree with that wholeheartedly. Virgos seem to do it effortlessly without even attempting to try. It's just, that's the way they are. People like me, who's a Gemini, with squirrel every 5 seconds, I have to work at organization. It's not one of my strong points. Although I will admit that once I do finally make myself buckle down and get organized over something, there's a big difference in how things proceed. You would think I would learn from my past mistakes and always be organized. No. Okay. So the Hanged Man is also, that's a card that basically is talking about standing still in the moment. Again, analyze your situation and all that's going on around you. Sometimes the Hanged Man can represent stagnation, refusal to move forward, and other times it appears when it's saying, yeah, hold up, slow your roll, let's take a step back, let's look at this and figure out what are the next best moves to make. So that's kind of the positive or the negative and then the positive side of Virgo. And with the Hanged Man, very apt. Once I started thinking about it, it was like, yeah, okay, this does kind of fit. So next up we had, what are the details for us to focus on? For that, we drew the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords that's someone who's very focused on details. It also is telling us that good things are coming. It fills us with hope and promise that the future is taking a turn for the better. So hold on to that. Hold on to that hope and promise. In the picture, it's someone that's kind of like rowing down the river or whatever. You see a heart hanging in the tree. So I don't know if it's a wounded heart, a broken heart, or a promise of love that's up ahead. But regardless, it's movement. It's taking the next step. It's knowing that I can't just stay here. I'm stagnating. I need to take the next step in order to move forward. And that's what we get with the Six of Swords. Now, next question was how to reach your goals and get things done. With that, we drew the Five of Swords. Did I change it? No, I did not. Let's change the card. There we go. The Five of Swords. Okay. Now, with the Five of Swords in the picture, you've got a raven or a crow. I'm not sure which one it is. Carrying three with two laying at the bottom. So this is the universe reminding us that toxic people can drag us down. As you can see from the tarot card itself, two toxic people have been let go of, or two groups of people, or a pair, anything along those lines. You're letting go of people who are toxic and who fill you with their toxicity. And it's important to get clear of that so that you can then hear clearly what your next steps are going to be. The Five of Swords also warns us that arguments and negative energy can be problems that need to be addressed. It doesn't mean every argument you have with somebody is this big blown up thing. No. It means that we're all going to argue from time to time because we're all different people and we're very unique and we believe or perceive things differently than the other person. So arguments are normal. They're natural. That's a natural part of being. Not arguing, that would worry me. Just it's a given. If two people never argue, never fight, then they're not really in a relationship together, are they? They're just kind of taking up space next to each other. So this is warning us that arguments and negative energy are problems that we need to address. It's also letting us know that we must guard ourselves against this negativity so that we can reach our goals and move forward. So again, it's dropping those few swords there, dropping off that toxicity, getting rid of those that do not serve your higher purpose and where divine source is leading you to go. So it's very important to tune in so that when spirit tells you, okay, this is not a good person for you. This person is leading you in the wrong direction. This person is lying or is just they're doing things in shadow. So it's not clear. It's not lit up like it is with the sun. So it's very important to be aware of toxic people around you and then having the strength to let them go because they're no longer serving your best interest. Let's see. Okay, I got everything I wrote down about that one. So last but not least is the what was it? The Hierophant. I don't know these cards that well, and you can barely read the writing of what card it is because it's in red foil. And so every time I tried to hold it up to the light to see what it was, it would shine, and I couldn't make out the letters. It took me a little bit. So this is the Hierophant. This is how to surrender and trust. So basically what this card is telling you is that good advice is hard to come by. However, there's a mentor or someone you can trust who can be helpful. Listening to your guides are going to be helpful. This helps you solve problems and deal with the answer of life's questions. Sometimes we can get hit with just one little minor thing and we look at it, we're like, okay, I know what to do. I can take care of this. And other times we get hit with just an abundance of issues that will pop up in our face. And it can become very debilitating, preventing you from actually stepping out and doing something. But we have to remember that Divine Source has put these methods, these angels, these ancestors, these guides, they have put them in our lives because that's what's going to help us to move to the next level, to moving on up to the east side, just like with the Jeffersons. If we want that big apartment in the sky, then we've got to work for it, and we've got to follow the rules to some degree. It's always a positive thing to listen and learn from others. You may think they don't have any clue what I'm going through. You may be amazed if you just sit down and listen to them. Maybe their circumstance wasn't exactly like your circumstance, but the general gist of that circumstance, they've been through it. They've walked through that fire. And so it's really important for us to be able to acknowledge that and absorb that energy, absorb that the learning that comes from that, so that we're more knowledgeable, so that when it happens to us again, we're not completely blown off course. We've been there, we've done that. Just go with it, go with that flow. And of course, when you stop and listen and learn from others, it can create so much more for your own life. And then a lot of times it can prevent bad things from happening, because you're able to sit back and go, oh, Johnny warned me about this. He told me that if this problem came up, this would be a good way to handle it. At least that's how he handled it, and it worked out for him. So there, you've got a piece of knowledge. You kind of know what you should or shouldn't do, and you just go with it. You may be halfway through doing it a certain way when suddenly you realize, you know what, maybe this worked for Johnny, but it's not working for me. So then you have to readjust. You have to be willing to allow yourself to readjust so that you know exactly who, what, where, when, why, how you are to deal with a certain circumstance. The Hierophant tends to emphasize leadership, especially a leader who loves the rules and loves to learn, and they want to teach everybody else what they know. Now, the downside to that is you wind up with someone with a love of rules that stretches it to dark extremes. We all know people like this. They stretch it, they push it. No matter what they do, the other party will not give way. It's the attitude of my way or the highway. And life doesn't work like that. Life is nothing but agreeing to disagree if necessary, okay? It's also, this card shows up when we are currently seeking what's going on in the political spectrum. This is, again, take that step back, look over the countryside and say, okay, I see what this group is doing, and I see what that group is doing, and I see what those other people are doing. Now, which one are the correct ones? Or maybe they're all three correct. You just have to find the bubble that you fit in. It's not as hard as it sounds. I mean, hell, if I can do it more times than I count during my lifetime. You can do it, okay? It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. So this leaves us with where the Hierophant tends to represent traditional values, traditional religions or religious beliefs. It tends to represent political systems, right or left, in the middle. It doesn't matter. Part of people following a certain party or refusing to serve a party speaks volumes about where you are in your life. When you feel that something's wrong and you know that something's wrong, then it's really important to listen to the voices around you so that they can help you move out of that horrendous mindset, or they can help you to avoid something really bad from happening. It's kind of like putting on a safety belt, okay? Most of us grew up riding in cars. We never wore a seatbelt. Most cars didn't even have seatbelts. I can remember us laying up in the back window of the car, where the windshield comes down and the back, it comes up and meets, and there's that space that goes across. We used to spend our time fighting over who gets to lay in the window. And we would lay in the window and we would watch the traffic behind us and wave and stuff at people, and they would wave back. And just nowadays they would go pew pew and be done with you because they don't understand waving and smiling and being friendly. So altogether, with the traditions that are within your family, we all have them. We all have things we do a certain way every year, no matter what, because that's the way my mama did it, because that's the way my grandmama did it, because that's the way my great-grandmother did it. And it fits and it works, so you stay with it. And that's a good thing. My grandmother was like an excellent cook. The woman could make or bake anything and would knock your socks off with it. Me, I'm an okay chef in the kitchen. I would like to be better, but I just don't have the time to put into it. But I do. I don't really like cooking all that much. But I do go through those time periods when I'm cooking or when I'm baking, I feel the joy in doing that again. Something I used to do that I walked away from, and now I find myself kind of being swung back the other way. With religions, we're looking at a sect of people right now in this country that are very hardline. You have to believe what they believe. You have to believe it their way. You have to worship their way. You have to talk to God their way, or you're going to burn in hell. Make that make sense, okay? So yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. People believe what they believe. Maybe they're a Christian, maybe they're not. Maybe they're Jewish, maybe they're not. Maybe they're Muslim or atheist or practice the religion of their Native American tribe if they're Native American. We all will hear that voice that tells us this is the right way to go. And if you keep deviating from that course, Spirit's going to keep bringing you right back around and plopping you down in front of it. Like, hey, pay attention to me. You need to go this way. When you do that, all of a sudden, everything tends to just fall into place because you are where you are in that moment, exactly where Divine Source wants you to be. And that's a very powerful thing. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting leg cramps again. So to kind of wrap it all up with Virgo, basically it feels like it's going to be kind of an kind of month for Virgo. Okay, we're not talking about it's going to be award-winning time, and we're not going to be, winning any contracts or any awards for being holier than thou. Not honest ones anyway. People tend to stick to the political party that they were brought up in. Well, I vote Republican because my daddy voted Republican. My uncles voted Republican. My granddaddy voted Republican. We've been voting Republican since Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that's awesome. I have no problem with that. Except Abraham Lincoln was very woke and very progressive. So they might want to fact check themselves before they align themselves up with Abraham Lincoln. I wish I could reach him. I can't ever get through to him. I've talked to George Washington, but not Lincoln. He just doesn't want to talk. That's okay. So, we're being told to ground ourselves. We're being told to look at the big picture. Use the mind that Spirit gave you. Use that God-given talent and gift. Think through all the prospects, all the steps. If I go left, this is going to happen. If I go right, that's going to happen. Which one is going to serve me better? Left or right? Frontwards or backwards? Up or down? It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you may swing in a particular way or another. It just means that for whatever that topic is in that moment, you're going to go in a specific direction. And that's a good thing. That's listening to our intuition. That's listening to Spirit tell us, yeah, you need to take a right turn here. Okay. It talks about what to focus on. And of course, that brought up the Six of Swords. And so that's telling us focus on good things coming your way. That's also a fantastic way to manifest what it is you want. Is you get a picture in your head, and I'm getting ready to teach class on vision boarding. You put some pictures or whatever up on your vision board, be it physical or electronic, it doesn't matter. It works either way. So that you can then concentrate. It's in my pocket. So that you can then concentrate on what's going on in the moment. And that way you can focus on it. You'll know which direction you need to go in. And again, get rid of the toxic people. Get rid of those who drag you down. Stay away from the energy vampires. They will suck you dry in a New York second. Trust me, I know, I've known some. And before you know it, you're dragging because they've done sucked all the energy out of you and made you feel depressed on top of it. So yeah, you got to look around. You got to see who is in your life that is there for your best interest. Get rid of the ones that aren't interested in helping you or encouraging you or building you up. You don't need them. Let them go. Okay. And then, of course, where we go into the Five of Wands, where, like I said earlier, that's those toxic people again, dragging you down. Let them go. Let all that crap go. I feel very strongly that this is kind of going to be the month of learning to go with the flow, because we've got a lot of upheaval that's coming. A lot of upheaval is coming. It will, in the end, be for the better, and we will be a better people for it. But it's going to get bad, y'all, so be prepared. Part of Virgo's strengths is being able to look out at the landscape and go, there's a problem coming. What do I need to do to protect myself, protect my family, protect my friends from getting caught up in that? That's one of the strengths of having a Virgo in your life, is they can see analytically. They can look down the road and see what is good or bad heading your way. And it's learning to trust them when they say, yeah, no, let's go left. Okay, real quick. And then, of course, in the end, we've got the Hierophant. And that is, I got the wigglies, y'all. I'm sorry. And that is learning who you can trust and who you can't. That is, people tend to hold on to their traditions, their beliefs, their faith. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a wonderful thing to have in your life. It doesn't mean it's your be-all, end-all. You still got to go out and gain new information, new knowledge into what is going to help you make the best choice for you, for your family, for your job, for your coworkers. So it's important to realize who the helpful, good people are in your life and who the toxic, bad people are in your life. Virgos are very good at kind of eyeballing it and picking those people out and saying, yeah, you need to get rid of that one. Go hang out over here with Shirley. Shirley's going to do you good, okay? But stay the hell away from Fred. Fred's not going to do you any good. No offense to the Shirleys and Freds out there. It's just names that popped in my head. So I think Virgo season is going to be interesting, to say the least. I feel like they may be the ones that are going to be on the front line of dealing with all the crap that's going on politically, especially in our country. And we're going to need people who have that ability to analytically look at a problem, dissect it, and figure out what's the best course of action. So when you get those Virgos in your life, hang on to them for all you got, because in the end, they're going to help lead you in the right direction. So that's all I got. It's just going to be repeating what I've already said, and that's boring. Happy birthday to all the Virgos out there. I got to remember to go get a card for my brother. His birthday's like next week. So, so yeah, we got to, have a happy birthday. Don't make everybody around you too crazy by being too analytical. You can have fun. You can. It's allowed. Okay? All right. Well, y'all have a great Virgo season. Look for your nearest, dearest Virgo in your life and make sure they help you figure out what's the right way and what's the wrong way. They will do it. So, all right, guys. Y'all have a great one. We will talk again soon. So, bye for now.